The moment you stop explaining, you win. Not because you become rude. Not because you stop caring. You win because you stop begging people to understand what they already understand. You stop handing your power to people who were never planning to respect it. If you're the kind of person who writes long messages, gives full background, adds receipts, adds screenshots, adds, "I'm sorry if I'm wrong," adds, "I hope you don't hate me," and still ends up misunderstood, this video is for you. Because there is a point where explaining is not communication anymore. It's self-abandonment. Let me start with something real. I used to be a professional explainer. I could explain my feelings like I was presenting a project. I'd say, "Okay, first, I just want to say I'm not mad, and I'm not blaming you, and I understand you're busy, and I know you didn't mean it, but also I felt hurt, and it's not a big deal, and I'm sorry and by the time I finished, I wasn't even talking about the problem. I was trying to prevent their reaction. I was trying to make myself small enough to be accepted. And you know what happened? I still didn't feel respected. I just felt tired. One day, after another long explanation that changed nothing, I sat there and realized something that hit me hard. The people who truly respect you don't need long explanations, and the people who don't respect you will use your explanations against you. That was the moment I started changing. So today, we're talking about why you explain too much, how it keeps you stuck, and what to do instead. And I'm going to keep it simple, because this isn't about fancy words. This is about freedom. Here's the first truth. Over-explaining is often a fear response. It's fear of being misunderstood, fear of conflict, fear of being disliked, fear of losing someone, fear of being seen as the bad person. So you explain to protect the relationship, but in the process, you often betray yourself. And if you grew up in an environment where you had to prove your innocence, prove your feelings, prove your intentions, then over-explaining becomes automatic. Some people learned early that a simple "no" was not allowed. A simple "I don't want to" was not accepted. A simple boundary was punished. So you learn to justify your needs like you were on trial. That's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to heal it. Because explaining too much can keep you trapped in bad friendships, toxic family patterns, and relationships where you're always the one trying to fix things. Now, let's be clear, healthy communication is good. Explaining is not always wrong, but there's a difference between explaining and begging. Explaining is sharing information. Begging is trying to convince someone to treat you well. And you never should have to convince someone to treat you with basic respect. So how do you know when you're over-explaining? Here are a few signs. You say, "Sorry," even when you didn't do anything wrong. You add long paragraphs to make your boundaries sound nice. You keep talking even after they already heard you. You repeat yourself again and again, hoping this time they'll finally get it. You leave a conversation feeling drained and ashamed. You feel like your words are on a treadmill. If that sounds familiar, don't feel bad. Most kind people do this. People with big hearts do this. People who want peace do this. But peace that costs you your voice is not peace. It's silence. Now I want to tell you a story that might sound small, but it changed the way I live. I had a friend who would cancel plans last minute. Not once, not twice, all the time. And every time they canceled, I would be super nice. "No worries! All good? Take your time." But inside, I felt disrespected. One day, they canceled again, and I felt that familiar feeling. That mix of disappointment and anger, and I don't want to be dramatic. So I did what I always did. I started typing a long message. I wrote something like, "Hey, I totally understand things come up, and I know you have a lot going on, and I don't want to make you feel bad. But I've noticed this happens often, and it makes me feel like my time doesn't matter and..." Then I stopped. I deleted it. And I wrote one sentence. "Hey, I can't keep making plans if they keep getting cancelled last minute." That's it. No speech. No apology. No long story. And something happened in my body. I felt taller. I felt calm. I felt like I chose myself. That's what happens when you stop explaining. You stop performing. Now, let's talk about why stopping explanations is powerful. Because over-explaining is a hidden way of asking for permission. Permission to have a boundary. Permission to have a feeling. Permission to choose yourself. Permission to say no. Permission to leave. But you don't need permission. You need clarity. Clarity is attractive. Clarity is strong. Clarity protects you. And the people who truly care about you will respect clarity. They might not love it, but they will respect it. Now, here's another big truth. When you explain too much, you give manipulative people more material. If someone likes control, they will take your words and twist them. They'll pick one sentence and ignore the rest. They'll change the topic. They'll accuse you. They'll say, "So you're saying I'm a bad person." They'll say, "You're too sensitive." They'll say, "You always do this, and now you're stuck in a loop." You explain more. They twist more. You feel crazier. So the solution is not better explaining. The solution is less access, less emotional access, less debate access, less control. Now let's make this practical. If you want to stop over-explaining, you need 3 skills. 1. Short boundaries. 2. Calm repetition. 3. Walking away. Let's break those down. Skill 1. Short boundaries. A short boundary is simple, clear, and not emotional. Examples: no, I'm not available. That doesn't work for me. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not discussing this right now. I need you to speak to me respectfully. Notice what these sentences don't have. They don't have a big story. They don't have 10 reasons. They don't have, "Please don't hate me." They are just truth. Skill 2. Calm repetition. When someone pushes your boundary, don't add new explanations. Repeat the same sentence. This is hard because your brain wants to defend. But repeating calmly is powerful. Example: Thim, why can't you come? You, I'm not available. Thim, but what are you doing? You, I'm not available. Thim, wow, okay, you're being weird. You, I'm not available. You don't need to win the debate. You need to keep your boundary. Skill 3. Walking away. This is the real win. Some people don't respect words. They only respect action. So if a conversation becomes disrespectful, you end it. I'm going to end this call now. I'll talk when we can be respectful. I'm leaving. And then you actually leave. Walking away is not rude. Walking away is self-respect. Now, I want to talk to the person who says, "But if I don't explain, they will misunderstand me." Listen, people who care will ask questions with kindness. People who want control will misunderstand you on purpose. So don't try to be understood by someone committed to misunderstanding you. That is like trying to teach a wall to listen. You will lose energy and gain nothing. Here's the next level truth. Not everyone deserves your full story. Your story is valuable. Your reasons are valuable. Your feelings are valuable. But you don't have to give them to people who use them against you. Privacy is power. You can choose silence without guilt. Now, let's talk about the difference between communication and explanation in a relationship. In a healthy relationship, You can explain how you feel and the person listens. They might not agree, but they care. They adjust. They take responsibility. In a toxic relationship, you explain, and the person still doesn't change. Because the problem is not understanding. The problem is willingness. A person can understand you and still not respect you. So stop trying to find the perfect sentence that will change their character. Character changes when someone decides to change, not when you explain harder. Now, I want to address something that keeps many women stuck: guilt. Women are often trained to soften everything, to be nice, to be polite, to be easy, to not offend, to not be a problem. So when you set a boundary, guilt shows up. You might think, I'm being selfish, I'm being mean, I'm being cold. No, you are being clear. And here's the truth. Guilt is often just a sign you're breaking an old pattern. Guilt does not mean you're wrong. Sometimes guilt means you're free. So when guilt hits, don't run back to over-explaining. Breathe. Hold your boundary. Let the guilt pass. Now let me give you a simple exercise that works fast. Next time you feel the urge to over-explain, stop and ask, what am I afraid will happen if I don't explain? Maybe you're afraid they'll be mad. Maybe you're afraid they'll leave. Maybe you're afraid you'll look bad. Maybe you're afraid you'll be misunderstood. Now ask the next question. Is that fear worth abandoning myself? Because over-explaining is often you trying to control someone's reaction. But you can't control someone's reaction. You can only control your truth. And if someone leaves because you set a boundary, that is not a loss. That is protection. Now, we need to talk about something important. Sometimes you over-explain because you don't feel safe. If you are dealing with someone who becomes angry, threatening, or aggressive when you say no, please take that seriously. Your safety matters more than being strong. In those situations, the goal is not to win an argument. The goal is to stay safe and get support. But in normal daily life, with normal people, over-explaining is usually just a habit, and habits can be changed. Here's a simple method to break the habit. I call it the one-sentence rule. When you need to say something hard, say it in one sentence first, then stop. If they respond respectfully, you can explain more. If they respond with disrespect, you don't add more. One sentence protects you. Try it. One sentence. I'm not comfortable with that. One sentence. I won't be able to make it. One sentence. I don't want to continue this relationship. One sentence. I need change, not apologies. Let your sentence stand. Now, let's go deeper for a second. The reason over-explaining hurts you is because it teaches you that your no is not enough. It teaches you that you need to earn your boundary. But boundaries are not earned. They are declared. And the more you declare them, the more you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you become harder to manipulate. Your energy changes. Your posture changes. Your decisions change. You stop chasing people who don't choose you. You stop begging for basic effort. You stop trying to be understood by people who are committed to confusion. That's winning. So here's what winning looks like in real life. Winning looks like not replying immediately when you're emotional. Winning looks like not typing a long paragraph to prove your point. Winning looks like saying no without guilt. Winning looks like ending a conversation that becomes disrespectful. Winning looks like choosing peace over performance. And yes, some people will call you different when you do this. They might say, you changed. You're cold now. You're acting brand new. And you can smile and think, yes, I changed. I grew. because the old version of you was too available for disrespect. The new version is not. Now, I want to give you 3 phrases that can save you in hard conversations. Phrase 1. I'm not available for that. Simple, powerful. Phrase 2. I've made my decision. This shuts down debates. Phrase 3. Walk can talk when it's respectful. This sets a standard. Use these when you feel your old habit trying to pull you into explaining. Now, I want to end with a final story. There was a time when I thought being a good person meant always being understood, always being fair, always making sure no one felt uncomfortable. But then I realized something. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be respectful and still say no. You can love people and still choose yourself. You can be a good person and still disappoint someone. Because disappointment is part of having a spine, and when you stop explaining, you stop trying to be liked by everyone. You start trying to be loyal to yourself. That's the win. So here's your challenge. This week, pick one area where you over-explain. Maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's work, maybe it's dating, and practice the one-sentence rule. Say it once, say it calmly, and let it stand. Then watch how your life changes. You will have more energy, more peace, more self-respect, and you'll realize something. The moment you stop explaining, you don't lose people. You lose the people who only liked you when you had no boundaries. And that is not a loss. That is freedom. If this video helped you, hit like so it reaches someone who is exhausted from over-explaining. Subscribe for more real talks about confidence, boundaries, self-worth, and healing. And comment below what is one sentence you need to say this week. Just one. Write it down. Make it real. That's how you win.